boys are at New Mom's pretty deep. Wonder what's going on over there. No handy. Oh, these are shooting funerals? Holy hell. See the pool of blood on the front door to it.
Had to fall back off the killing, cause bro them told me do the music.
What is up, ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls? It is your least favorite motovlogger, Brian636, coming to you on not a 636. I am on my Grom today. I realized I don't even know if I've ever done a video on this particular Grom. I've owned it for almost 2 years now. It's a 2019 white, beautiful, pretty much stock Grom. You know, bars, exhaust, axle sliders, rear sets. That's about it. It's not much to it. No handbrakes, no cage, no nothing like that. Today we are on Cicero and Augusta, and we're going to do a little bit of a different type of video today. I was watching the news, and they were talking about how a gang out here on the west side was indicted not long ago, and they went to trial, and a couple of these guys were convicted from Wicked Town. And they brought up one of their main enemies. He goes by the name Pluto 2 times, which was an old school rapper from out here.
Beef with us, bet you won't make it. Where you at? Say your location.
And in that they disclosed how many murders this guy had done in his very short life. He's rumored to have killed over 10 people here in the city, primarily in the Austin and West Garfield Park area. And I just thought, I haven't done a video on gang beef like this in a long time. I think the last one was my old block one. So I'm going to bring you guys to a couple key places, discuss some of the history around Ghost Mob, Wicked Town, some of these old school West Side sets, and talk about the short and violent and pretty prolific life of Pluto 2 times.
So I got these for the stripper. Oh, who the f*** said all I do is kill people? Who said that? Who said that?
Because it just got me thinking, most people, I bet you 99.9% of the people watching this have never heard of Pluto 2 times. And most people have heard of people like Ted Bundy, John Wayne Gacy, and Jeffrey Dahmer, you know, serial killers. But there's serial killers here in our city, and people, like, they don't even know they exist, or their life and death story. And I think this is a pretty good one to cover, just because he is late now, he is deceased, so there's not too much of a problem with me talking about some of the stuff that he's rumored to have done. And you guys are going to recognize a lot of these areas. As we cross over Cicero Ave, we've just entered South Austin. Or actually, no, this is North Austin, my bad. Noah's Foods. This is actually part of the neighborhood where my late grandma and my great aunt grew up. A couple blocks from here, where I'm about to show you. Turn left on the Iowa here. As we get up here, this is Lemon and Iowa. This is the 4900 block. This is where Ghost Mob has claimed for decades. This is where Pluto 2 times is from. This is where a lot of his gang members are from. There's a pretty active couple blocks here on the far west side of the city, and it's been this way for a long time. That's Chicago Ave right there. That's Cicero Ave. So you're about a block off of each major Ave. Yeah, this is where he hailed from. They go by Ghost Mob. They go by 4900. And he's originally from right here. The boys are at New Mom's pretty deep. Wonder what's going on over there. All right, guys, so before Pluto was even an adult, he caught his first body when he was 15. He literally beat a grown man to death before he was a rapper, before he was even out of high school. He was a freshman at the time. A 43-year-old by the name of Antonio Baker, right up here on the left, on the 1000 North block of LeClaire. So right here, 1000 LeClaire and Augusta. Perfect, yeah. So he was 15 at the time with his friend when he was at a house party, where they were just hanging out, when he began beating Antonio and eventually taking a big Bluetooth speaker and smashing it on top of his head. There was witnesses. The police showed up 20 minutes later and actually arrested Pluto 2 times and his friend. This was Pluto's first introduction into the judicial system, and he was actually charged as an adult. Got fresh crime scene tape here. This is definitely not from back when he committed his first murder years back. All right, so he's looking at first-degree murder. He hires an attorney. His attorney was able to argue that not only was the man on heroin at the time, but he also suffered from asthma, that he died from his asthma conditions and not the beating and the Bluetooth speaker pounding on his head. Fast forward a couple months, the charges are dropped. Pluto is a free man, a free kid, because he's still a juvenile at the time. His friend's charges get dropped as well, and Pluto is back on the streets. So he beat his first murder conviction while he is still a minor. Hey, how's it going? He shoots and kills another young man, convicted on first-degree murder. There's a snitch. Within a couple weeks, the witness, the snitch, recants their statement. The charges are dropped again. Pluto doesn't do a single day in jail. So he's charged for 2 first-degree murders before he is 18. So now Pluto is an adult. He is 18. His friends are encouraging him to start doing rap as he does have a real talent for music, and get out of the streets, stop killing. He's about to become the face of Ghost Mob for rapping. Now, since he is an adult now and social media is becoming more a part of his life, we're able to go a little bit more in depth on more of his upcoming killings that that Pluto is accused of. Still got all these old shot spotters up. So you've got your pod camera and your shot spotter, but the shot spotters don't work anymore because the city stopped paying for them, so they're just going to rust away. Kind of crazy. Welcome to Chicago. Roll through, pull up a second gear. Over this bumpy ass road. Perfect, Chicago Ave. Just where I was going. 5400. I'll put it up for you. I gotta do all that?
Hey, that's cold.
Appreciate it, guys.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, I worked that motherfucker. Yes, sir. Go ahead, on, brother.
All right, I'll try. So here we go. Here is 5200 West Chicago Ave. A couple abandoned buildings, but there's something really significant on this block, and this is more recent. The Cook County Sheriff's Office. There's only 2 of them in Chicago. There's one here on the west side and one downtown. All the offices, there's one literally right here on this block. So fast forward to April 1st, 2017. A young man by the name of Steph Curry. Don't I know you? Big Rocky? And why are you looking at me like you know me? Yeah, what's his name? Brian 636? Man, f that guy. What's up, dude? I'm Brian.
What?
Yeah. That's me. I'm out here doing a video. Yeah. I was out there with the Puerto Rican guys on Sunday. The Pan Am ST, yeah. Can I have an Altoid? Thank you. Do you know who Pluto 2 times is? Old school West Side rapper. I'm doing like a little mini doc on him. This is where he caught his third body, right here at 5200 West Chicago. So I'm doing like a little mini doc on him. There's people behind you waiting, bro. See you guys. Bye. So like I was saying, April 1st, 2017. A young man by the name of Sosa Curry, 23 years old, was sitting right here on the 5200 block of West Chicago Ave. It's now turned into a pretty nice safe space by the city, because this used to be one of the worst blocks in the city. He was sitting in his car when he was approached by a gunman and shot in his head. So bad that they were not able to have an open casket. Hello? Man, everyone's just happy to see me today, huh? You're just happy to see people. I love your smile. Have a beautiful day. Dear God. And not only was it not enough that he didn't get to have an open casket for his family, the rumors began surfacing pretty quick that this was Pluto and guys from the Ghost Mob, and sure as they began posting videos of them going to Sosa's gravesite, stomping on and defacing his gravesite. Pretty crazy. Chicago West, love no limits. So even though the evidence is there, and I'm sure the police at the time, whether it was the sheriffs or CPD or the FBI, they were looking into this, I'm sure, but they just did not have the evidence to convict or bring charges against Pluto. And this is actually the time that his rap career is really starting to progress. So once again, he is getting pressure from not only just his friends, but the gangs themselves, but Ghost Mob themselves, to get out of the streets and start doing music. And he's put this in a couple of his lyrics.
Had to fall back off the killing, cause bro them told me do the music.
Pluto just cannot do that. He would rather be a shooter, and that's what he wanted. My people, my love, my people protect. Right up here at Laramie in Chicago, got a little story for you guys. I got my own story from right here. This is where I got my stolen Grom back from during the riot.
We good. We're getting our stolen bike back, man. Okay. When somebody steals one of our bikes, we get that thing back.
Okay, we just take some right. Big fella.
We all good.
I know I don't think I talked about it much, but the third day during the riots when I was covering them, my Grom was stolen. And less than 48 hours later, me and my friends found the young man that had it at this gas station, and it was pretty smooth and seamless getting it back from him, actually. It was pretty smooth and seamless. Handed him the gas pump, acting like I was his friend, and I was not his friend. Don't steal from us. So we're gonna head south on Laramie here as we head to Pluto's, what would this be, 4th or 5th confirmed homicide? We're heading southbound now into the south part of Austin. Let's pull it up first gear, shift to second gear. See if we'll do a little no handy. Yeah. Okay, here we go. 700 block of Laramie, and the memorial's still out here. This I just saw on the news yesterday. This is extremely fresh.
Detectives right now are still trying to get to the bottom of exactly what happened here. Relatives say the victim had no known enemies and had actually just begun working at this store. Police recovered evidence from inside. The store owner telling me the gunman walked right into the meat cooler and started shooting. There was no argument or exchange of words beforehand. The victim, known as Monty, died at Mount Sinai Hospital.
This is extremely sad too, and this just sounds like a hit. It just sounds like a hit, and it makes stores like this become less and less frequent in our neighborhood. It was here only a couple days ago where a young worker had just began work a week and a half before. He was actually in the freezer, and a man walked in and shot him in the head. So it just sounds like a hit. His family said he's not involved with any gangs or the streets, and it's just bizarre. It really is. Makes no sense if that's the case. So I would either guess that there's a woman involved or some other motive if that really is the case, because he's working a real job, 9 to 5, trying to make a living. Something's going on. It doesn't sound right. District 15 from Chicago Police Department is investigating, and it's all over the news. Memorial there. It's a big deal. Something tells me they're gonna find that guy. What the hell's going on out here? Just a funeral? Funeral? Is it a funeral? Yeah. Some of these funerals get pretty big from this funeral home and another one down here on Madison. There's always a pretty big police presence when they're going down, especially if it was a violent act. Emotions are definitely high out here. All right, and literally with the funeral still in our rear view, welcome to the 5500 block of West Monroe. It was right here that only months after him shooting Sosa that a green SUV came flying down this block, occupants exited, and the rumored shooter is Pluto, killed 13-year-old Too Hot, right here. A witness gave a vague description. It matched Pluto. About 5 weeks after the murder, Pluto admitted to it on Instagram, literally admitted to it, saying Too Hot's pants were too tight. That's why he fell down when he was chasing him, publicly on Instagram. And once again, he was not convicted, and no charges were brought about him. Damn, you hit something going fast, boy. Cheers. What do we got here? What up?
That's a Grom?
Yeah, it is. What's that? Am yet?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that before. Oh, you got to get it registered?
No, I got to get my motorcycle registered.
Oh, you got your dreads hanging out of your visor still, dude. All right, brother. Well, be safe out here, huh?
Hey, what's your name? You can maybe ride out later.
Huh?
What's your name? We can probably ride out.
Brian.
Brian?
Yeah, what's your name? Liam? Good to meet you, Liam. Be safe out here, all right? That was cute. What's your name? We can probably ride out later. Coming down Jackson Boulevard on a gloomy Chicago day. See if I'll roll a stoppie. Groms are so great for learning how to do stoppies and foot brake and all that stuff. I 10 out of 10 recommend you learning on one. And all the guys that are like, oh no, I can't learn on one. I'm 6'3", 240 pounds. It's like, dude, come on. Everyone's on these things. I will never sell my Grom. Oh, the funeral. They got the whole block closed down now. Meep, meep. What's up, gentlemen? How we doing? All right, guys, as we go eastbound of Cicero, we have left Austin's neighborhood, and we've now entered into Garfield Park. And I'm bringing you to what is, without a doubt, Pluto's catalyst of violence. And it took place on a very familiar block with a very familiar face on it. We'll be there in a couple minutes. Nothing like scooting around on a Grom. Here we go. Welcome to the 4200 block of West Madison. And who do we have here? My good buddy and friend, Shorty! All is well. I'm a little cold out here today. What does this say? Boyish. The woman stuck between being sexy and comfortable, no waist trainer needed.
Got
them know I don't want that. Why you wearing it? Because I don't want that.
You've been on this block for a long time, haven't you? Long time. Do you remember, were you here in 2017?
No, I just left.
Okay. So I'm doing a little video on Pluto. Do you remember there was a triple homicide that happened here? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. I'm got to talk a little bit about that one. I know you can. Shorty does not condone this message. So it was right here at the Quick Food Mart on September 19th, 2017, only a couple months after Pluto's last homicide. A 19, a 22, and a 23-year-old, as well as a 25-year-old, were all standing in that doorway. A car got out, and a solo shooter got out. Over 40 rounds were fired. Over the news helicopter, you could literally see the pool of blood on the front door, too. It was a pretty horrific and eerie homicide, as the shooter, or rumored shooter, being Pluto, really wanted every single one of these guys dead. And every single one of them was brought to Mount Sinai Hospital in neighboring North Lawndale. It's on Ogden and California, where every single one of them, besides the 25-year-old, succumbed to their injuries. So 3 dead, 1 wounded. What's up, dude? I like the handcuffs. Yeah.
It was just before 3 p.m. when shots rang out in the 4200 block of West Madison. 4 men were struck by gunfire. At least 40 markers were on the ground. As police evidence technicians processed the scene, it looks like this could be a gang-related matter.
So it was a very eerie scene, because this is always and always has been a very active block. Garfield Park's main shopping district is right there. It's a stone's throws away. This is always a busy place to be. And yet again, here's another funeral going on. Killer in Madison. You see the hearse pulling out. Just a logistical nightmare for CPD when these big funerals are happening too. Shorty does not condone this message. I don't know nothing about nothing. I don't know nothing about nothing either. I'm just a little bit of hearsay. Huh? How much do I charge? What do I look like, a working girl? How much do I charge?
No. I thought you said rent. That's why I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's for rent. Hall, Renthal. Why, you want to rent it?
No, I just thought that's what it said.
Oh, no. No. All right, brother, holler at me. Good to see you as always, bro.
About his mini motorcycle, but she said she got to get the front wheel fixed.
Who, this one?
No, it's a mini one.
Oh, okay. That'd be fun. You come ride with us? All right, brother. Be smooth. I do not want to be in this funeral procession. I need to get out of here. We got security for the funeral procession right here. So it's at this time that Pluto's beginning to rap about some of this. He's really the face of Ghost Mob and really their main shooter. And it goes on this way for years, actually. The hell? And it's just another day in Chicago where we have guys that have over 9, 10, 11 homicides under their belt, and they're still on the street. Ooh, that thing's nasty. No, thank you. Everyone wants to sell weed out here. This thing's nasty. Come on, spin it! Oh, you can rev it. Hear the supercharger on it. Now put it in gear and spin the tires. Man, oh man, talk about an active day. This is our 3rd funeral today. Why is there so many funerals today? There's a funeral on Madison there, Madison here, Washington here.
Yeah, it was a pretty wild couple of weeks, man.
What do you mean? Oh, these are shooting funerals? Holy hell. 3rd funeral of the day. And there you go, from CPD themselves. It was a wild couple weeks, lots of shootings. So it really does hopefully dissuade rival gang members or any acts of retaliation at the funerals, because that is a very common thing in Chicago, is retaliations at the funerals, retaliations at the hospitals and the ambulance ride there. That's why a lot of ambulances are police escorted as well. I'll tell you, for urban getting around, there's not much better than a Grom, and I am a grown man. I'm a tall, grown boy. So I don't want to hear, oh, I'm too big for it. I ain't trying to hear it. Alright guys, here we are on Cicero Ave, coming up on the 700 block, which is Chicago and Cicero. Fast forward exactly 2 years from the triple homicide that Pluto was believed to be associated with doing. And September 28th, 2019, he was stopped at this light with a girl in the car when a white sedan, a white four-door car, approached him and shot him in the head and the torso, as well as the female in the torso. The female survived, Pluto did not. This is like anything in the city. Dirt will eventually catch up with you. And if you do a lot of people dirty in the long run, I do believe that it will catch up with you. So it seems to be that way, because a lot of our super prolific, well-known, shooters and guys that have been around and doing this and bragging about doing this for years, it normally ends in that way. Before the feds, before the police can even catch up with them, the streets do. And it's a really sad thing, because Pluto is only 22 years old, and he ended multiple other young people. 13 years old, too hot. 13. I mean, every single one of these guys are young dudes. It's just, it seems like the streets go on, and it's just, it's a cycle. Retaliation. But I do think with some of these guys, and Pluto's a good example, I really do think it is about the thrill of posting about that he's doing it, the thrill that other people know that he is like a top shooter within the city. And it's crazy, because so many people know a lot of serial killers that have just as many homicides as Pluto 2 times, but I can almost guarantee you no one has heard of Pluto 2 times, besides probably now, as he wasn't really big in the rap game unless you were pretty attuned to Chicago's local drill rap. And I need to preface this, I shouldn't have to, but I need to. I'm not encouraging this perpetual gang violence. I'm simply documenting it, especially now that he is late, he is deceased. This has been a long time. The feds have come in and did a whole sweep on Wicked Town, which was their main rivals, and some of those guys, and that story is even crazier, I feel like. But as far as an individual with a lot of homicides that is kind of confirmed now, Pluto 2 times stands out, and there's quite a few others, and it's crazy just how many guys are walking around the city with that. What up, boys? It could be any single guy standing on a corner. Kind of crazy to think about. All right, guys. Right above where the train looting happened, actually. Kinsey and Leclerc. First vlog on this Grom, although I've had it for a long time. I don't always like to vlog on my Grom. It's not the most exciting bike, but I do have a blast riding it, and I need to get it more on my fleet. For everyone that says, oh man, I want more Harley, I want more S1000, I want more 636, I want more Surron. I do my best, guys. I really do. I do my best to alternate the bikes. I love all of them. They're all different tools, I can't just eat Korean food every day, and I can't just eat Italian food every day. I got to switch it up. This was a long time coming. I hope you guys' image of the city is still a good one, as there is so many great people here. Great restaurants, great food, great riders, great people. It is just a small percentage, I feel like, doing a lot of the violent acts. So take it with a grain of salt. Especially this one. I know this one involved a lot of funerals, homicides, recent and old, everything on the books. But as always, guys, Chicago, put the guns down, respect life. If you're new here, subscribe. If you like the video, give it a like. Leave something down for me in the comments below. I like reading with them. I like interacting with them. And as always, this is your least favorite motovlogger, Brian636, signing out from the west side of Chicago. I love y'all. I'm out of here. Peace.